Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday and happy day 8 of our 21 days together. I'm so happy to be here with you. Happy to be here with my body. Hopefully you are too, to sit, be present. Today we're going to sit with the wisdom of the bones. Usually it's the bones that we situate first when we sit. Sometimes you might not think it's the bones. It seems like it's the skin and the muscles, soft tissue, the connective tissue. But as we sit to go deeper, we really think about the bones. Often I talk about the sitting bones, the pubic bone, the tailbone, base of the pelvis. And the spine, right? Perfectly stacking the spine. Maybe they'll sway forward and back, side to side. And it's not about the way the posture looks. It's the way the posture feels as you perfectly stack the bones, even with the natural curves. And we stack for ease, for alignment, for energy to flow. And the skull, you can tip it forward, back, side to side. And you get to a place where the skull just perches perfectly, right? Chin dials down just a little bit. So there's a lengthening of the back of the neck, a lifting of the base of the skull, upwards through the crown of the head. And with your eyes closed, the breath coming in and out through the nose. Start to settle into the body, into the present moment where the body is. Into the present moment where the breath is. And the mind becomes that third, right? Into the present moment with the mind. I want to read to you something from a nice Craniosacral Chi Kung book about wisdom in the bones. To help us attune to subtle forms of light and mass and movement, we first must go back to the basics. The higher we want to go, the more stable and secure our foundations need to be. In Taoism, the foundation is the bones. Bones are the most enduring parts of ourselves, lasting hundreds of thousands of years. Long after we have made our transition, our bones will still be here to tell the stories of our lives. They hold our lineage, and they hold enormous wisdom. In Taoism, the health and strength of the bones are governed by the kidneys, which are said to be the keepers of our ancestral memory. And then biomedical studies in the West show that the anatomical kidneys are directly connected to the brain stem, the ancient reptilian part of the brain, which is the repository of wisdom that is millions of years old. So we want to sit today, tune into the wisdom of the bones, the energy of the bones, the vibrations of the bones, the electrical charge of each bone. Today we sit and do a deep dive into the present moment, into our bodies, each bone, and the wisdom that is held there. Remember, non-attachment, non-judgment. We sit here with a calm and clear mind. Bring awareness to your toes. Be with the bones of your toes. Breathe into the bones of your toes. Be with the bones of your feet. Breathe into the bones of your feet, even your heels. Breathe into your ankle bone and the bones that make up your ankle joint. And then into your 2 lower leg bones. On each leg. Breathing into the lower leg bones. Into your kneecaps. Sit with your kneecaps and breathe into your kneecaps. And into your thigh bones, your femurs. All your awareness, your breath. Right there at your thigh bones. Longest bones in the human body. Continue to sit with your legs, your feet, your toes. The wisdom of the bones and the lower extremities. Sit with the strength of the bones, the flexibility of the bones. Sitting with the wisdom. These bones that hold up so much. Listening to these bones, sensing their energy, and giving back gratitude. Now bring your awareness up to the pelvis. Where the femur bone plugs in. Your acetabulum, hip socket. And the biggest mass of bone in the human body. The pubis meets the ilium, meets the ischium. You have this big, beautiful, strong, stable pelvis. Your awareness, your breath, listening for the wisdom, this big, beautiful bone structure. In an adult, there's so much marrow, red marrow still in the pelvis. And where the pelvis meets the sacrum. Rest your awareness in the 5 fused bones at the base of your skull, of your spine, the base of your spine. Be in the sacrum and the tailbone. The wisdom of the tailbone. Some of us have 2 or 3 or 4 very small coccyx bones. The wisdom of the tail. And the sacrum, the wisdom of this heart-shaped bone. The connection. To the pelvis, to the legs. Be where the bones connect. There at the base of the spine. And then we walk our awareness up the spine, bone by bone. Thick bones, 5 of them, of the lumbar vertebrae. Sit with each one of those thick, strong, stable bones. No rush. Here in the lower back. The wisdom of the lower back. Thick lumbar vertebrae, one by one. Sit with each of these 5. And then as mass does, mass gets lighter. As you travel away from the gravitational pull, the bones get longer and lighter as you work your way up. 12 thoracic vertebrae. Try not to rush. Sit with the wisdom. These bones connect to your ribs. So include the bones of your rib cage. 12 bones, 12 ribs on the right, and 12 ribs on the left. Slowly climb your way up. Sitting with the wisdom of these bones. Notice where the ribs meet at the sternum. Great protecting bone, chest bone, the breastbone. Notice how the ribs articulate, connecting. Sitting with the wisdom of this bone that sits in front of your heart and lungs. This breastplate that protects. Feel it rise and fall with each breath. This bone. This big, flat bone of protection. Notice where the clavicles, the collarbones connect to the sternum. Again, red marrow. Still in the clavicles, in the adult human bones. And where the clavicles meet the scapulas, the wings of the back. Sitting with the wisdom of your wings, your scapula, your shoulder blades. The lightness of these bones. Where the clavicle and the scapula meet the third, the humerus, the upper arm bone. Bones that are lighter. Bones for mobility. Your two lower arm bones. Two on the right, two on the left. Where they connect to all the bones of the wrists. The hand bones. The fingers and the thumbs. Sitting with awareness, sitting with breath. Listening to the wisdom. Your arms down to your fingertips, down to your thumb. And the fingertips up the arms, all the bones back to the shoulders, into the neck, the 7 bones, the cervical spine, very light, small. Each one, sit with it as it stacks right on top of the next. The wisdom of the neck bones. And the top 2, the atlas and the axis, how they perfectly set themselves in such a way to hold the skull. All the skull bones together, the cranium sitting perfectly on top of the 2 top cervical bones there, the atlas and the axis. The wisdom there at the top of the spine, and the bones of the skull. The jaw, the bones of the face. The sides of the skull. The base of the skull. The very top of the skull. Sitting with all the bones. From the tips of your toes, all the way up to the top of the skull. Sit with your bones. Sense the energy, the charge, the electrical impulse. The wisdom, the ancestral wisdom. Wisdom of the blood and the marrow. Take a few moments to either sit, continue to sit, or lie down. And when you do move, feel the bones moving. Let it be a bone experience. I'm going to read you something from Om Swami, from his book, A Million Thoughts. Meditation is coming home. It's coming back to your source. It's where you belong. It's a discovery. It's a discovery of yourself. A getting to know your primal source. From where bliss, happiness, and joy continuously flow from. Meditation is discovering your original home. Where your soul rests in peace. And where consciousness flows unimpeded. Unimpeded. If you can, sit a little bit longer, lie with your bones a little bit longer. Really tuning into them, sensing them, feel their vibration, even hum into them. Offering gratitude for them. I thank you for being here. I love a bone exploration. It's what connects us. We may be different on the outside, but underneath the bones. Deep awareness, knowledge of the bones. It's such a connector, connection. I am you, you are me. We are one. Have a great day, everyone. From my heart to yours, so much love and joy. Namaste.